So why do you think being a vegan's good?
I would spin it around on its head, and rather than talking about why it's good, I'd talk about why not being vegan is bad. If we aren't vegan, so if we're buying things like, let's go for the basics that most people buy: meat, dairy, and eggs. If we're purchasing meat, dairy, and eggs for our meals, then okay, meat, we're funding literal animal slaughter, like murder of animals, right? For something that, like burgers, chicken wings, things like that, things that ultimately we don't need. They come from the brutal slaughter of animals that are mostly not even at a quarter of their natural lifespan and raised in disgusting conditions, and then go into a slaughterhouse, shot in the head, and have their throats slit. Even if they had their entire lifespan and they had a lovely life before that, they still go to a slaughterhouse, get shot in the head, and have their throat slit. So, that's a reason, firstly, not to eat meat. And then you look at the dairy and egg industries. The animals in those industries, they are manipulated and used and abused. Their bodies are treated like factories for products. They're treated like commodities. They go through absolute hell. They're forced to get pregnant, forcibly impregnated by farmers who, in the case of cows, shove their hands inside them, inject them with semen from bulls, and then get them pregnant, get the baby away, and take the milk from them. They do that on repeat over and over again until eventually a cow doesn't produce as much milk, and then they get shipped to a slaughterhouse. With chickens, with the egg industry, for example, the male chicks that are born into that industry are killed instantly. They're thrown into giant macerators, which are basically like big blenders, because they're useless to the egg industry, right? They only need females. And then the females, when they don't produce as many eggs, they also go to a slaughterhouse. So there's just to begin with, that's just the food side of things. If we aren't vegan, if we're paying for meat, dairy, and eggs, we're paying for all of that. And that's horrendous. It's absolutely horrendous. And why is it good if you are vegan? Well, firstly, you're not paying for any of that, and you're not funding any of that. So you're reducing the demand for that, and that's going to have some impact and go some ways to helping to stop it, right? Because as long as people pay for it and demand it, it continues. So that's a big help, that if you stop paying for that. Aside from that, there's also the clothing, there's the leather industry, there's the wool, the fur industries. I mean, it's all just blood, guts, and violence and cruelty. Basically, if something came from or involved an animal in any part of its production, you can guarantee 100% that animal was abused, used, or killed completely against their will. Veganism is very simple in that it's saying, where there is an animal involved, we will do everything we possibly can to not be a part of that. So that includes like food, clothing, cosmetics. That's the reasons to be a vegan would to avoid being any part of that system, that horrible system that does this to animals.